What's up, everyone? Welcome to Power Play with CJ. Today we're focusing on the Boston Bruins and Shawn Thornton choosing to part ways with each other. About a day old, day late, it's all short, but figured I'd address it. I saw it coming. I mean, anyone that read the piece I wrote about a month ago, I addressed it point blank. The marriage has reached its point where it's just not going to work anymore. Shawn Thornton was a good foot soldier for the Bruins for a long time, but the game's changing, and I think he embarrassed the team with the PK Subban incident. Spraying the water bottle like an asshole, and I think he gave the team a bad look doing that. And I just think his time in Boston had come to a close, and the Bruins are making the right choice. And we talk about who they might get to replace him. Biz Nasty's on the market this year. I think it'd be great if they signed Biz, but that's just the way things work, and this next man up. We'll see what happens. I mean, again, the enforcer role is getting kind of phased out on the whole in the NHL. There's always going to be fighting. The people that want to ban it and fighting Zebo and all that stuff. It's not going anywhere. Trust me. But at the same time, having someone whose job is strictly to fight just wastes a roster spot. Now, I'm not knocking Shawn Thornton because he legitimately was a hockey player. He was a hockey player. He played not all situations, but played legitimate minutes. He wasn't out there just to be a goon. And we got to see the best of him. Forechecking his ass off in the 2011 finals. But that's 3 years ago now, and it's like, oh well, what do you do now? And he's kind of lost a step, and as the game's getting faster, and the Bruins need kind of a new look on their fourth line. I mean, you look at the Chicago Blackhawks winning the Stanley Cup last year. Their fourth line could skate their ass off. Ben Smith, guys like that, and the Bruins' fourth line isn't a bad skating fourth line, just not as good as Chicago, and LA's got an interesting look with their Mike Richards on their fourth line. It goes to show the depth they have in Richards' general ineffectiveness. But the teams that win consistently, and I mean even the Bruins again won the Cup in 2011, having that fourth line that could play legitimate minutes, could forecheck and not be a liability. I think is probably I think if your fourth line isn't a liability, you break even, and the Bruins' fourth line was always a plus to them. And this year Thornton's game kind of went to hell, and hopefully he gets another shot in the NHL and plays a few more years. He's a guy I want to see make as much money as possible because he always had the thankless role of punching and getting punched in the head, and they don't pay you $5-6 million for that. It's just the way it goes. But at the same time, he's a fan favorite in Boston, and having that love, I think if you play hard in Boston and you're willing to fight and willing to put the work ethic in night out like Shawn Thornton did for 7 years. He was a Bruin. 7 years Shawn Thornton was a Bruin. Holy shit. That just goes to show the fans will hold you in their heart forever, and that's just the way. As I get sentimental and all that, but when his playing career is over, whenever that is, Thornton will be back in the Boston area working doing charity work and being a good ambassador for the team. But for now, it's I think it's best for both sides to part ways, and the door is not closed on a reunion, an off the ice role later on. I think that's probably the best thing for everyone. Anyway, that's all I got in this episode of the Power Play with CJ on the Bruins and Shawn Thornton proverbially breaking up. Stay tuned for episodes throughout the playoffs and beyond. Later, guys. Or throughout the off season. Dumbass.